I guess you guys say, man, you be starting early. I do. I start when I get up. I drink, I smoke, I cuss, and I do all kinds of things. But who is bad? What is truth? Knucklehead bitches and money hall motherfuckers. You know, real motherfuckers eat, sleep, walk, talk, dream, aspire, and will represent this motherfucking Q to the fullest. 24/7. 365. The real man is in effect. I have always been the kind of motherfucker who would cut you up and serve your ass. Serve your ass up in a motherfucking court. A street court. Now, you've been warned before, and I'm only, feeling obligated to warn you. Again, 2026 is starting off, and I always start off hard at the beginning of the year. And I be setting the pace uh, for motherfuckers not to fuck with me. Now, I've taken upon myself to be an advocate for a proper representation of this abadabba on social media. I respect the abadabba that made me who I am. I respect it because I am who I am because of it. And I'm going to protect the secrets that are left. Not with my life, but probably almost. I'll lay my neck on the chopping block before I go against the first and foremost rule of this abadabba. Charge it to the motherfucking game. The abadabba Q is for motherfuckers with abadabba, which is to be sold, not told. Any of you motherfuckers think you can say some shit about this abadabba and call me with it. I'm going off. I'm not finna go for none of your goddamn shit. So, call in, let's talk. Do you know what a simp is? Well, you guys use those words, and a lot of you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. A simp, the word simp, is an acronym for suckers imitating master pimps. That's what it is. It never ceases to amaze me how many motherfuckers think this abadabba is for them. Well, years ago, when all the older players used to refuse to give any of this fucking abadabba up, you had to prove yourself to whoever you was trying to get some gain from. I've been guilty of aiding and abetting fucking simp ass motherfucking niggas who actually had no intentions on becoming real. I've been punished for that goddamn shit too. And the way I've been punished, I've been having to respond to all these fucking suckers emailing me about shit. Now, I'll tell you this. I accepted my punishment because I deserved it. Now that I've been whipped back into shape by this fucking game, I vow to keep it secret from here on out. those old school niggas knew exactly what they was talking about, and I'm sure most of them are turning over in their graves about the way this shit is represented today. So I suggest we go back to the future via the past, and we're blasting off. We have a lot to do. I am not saying another word to you simp ass motherfuckers that allow women to fucking dictate how they are supposed to be managed. Or any of you Monty Hall clones that make any kind of deal proposed to you. You know, I just really believe this. It's so bad that you run into women, that I run into women that be listening to me and be talking about what they heard. Now, I didn't have this one broad. She quoted a couple of callers about what they was talking about. You know, this one caller was talking about his girlfriend, and the woman that was talking to me was saying you could tell in his voice he had punk in it. Now, my point in saying that is, did you know the things you say to a broad actually tells them if you got punk in you? Well, you can say what you want to say about it, and you can think what you want to think about it, but it's true. It's true. So, you all want to know there's a place where you feel at home, even though you know you are thousands of miles away from where you live. There is a time, you know, when you feel that you're in your element, even though what you're doing at the moment, you know good and well it's not you. There's a time when you realize all the shit you done been through, all the fucking things in your measly life that you done been through was not for nothing. Now, last night, actually, last couple of nights, I got treated like royalty because of how much appreciation of what I profess and what I display through my actions, not words, my continuous actions. People see where I'm coming from. If you're doing something and it has real value, but not as financially rewarding as you want it to be, or as you thought it could be, and you decide to stop, see, at that point, you could see it was about the money. And you didn't deserve what you was after. But let's say you're doing something and you thought it was going to generate a lot of money, but it really didn't. But you think it's important enough to continue forward, you know, as if you're making a killing in the profits, you'll realize it's not about the money. Because you feel rich because you're doing what the fuck you want to do. So, who's real? What's real? It's about what it should be about, isn't it? Fulfilling a dream is a luxury we all don't get to experience in life. And my point to you is the reward is the chase. And the fucking payment is fulfillment. See, this is one of the things, one of the main reasons I try to do my own thing. And I try not to need any help or assistance from damn motherfucker. You just can't depend on the person who made all their decisions after deep thought and still got it wrong. And just the same, you can't depend on the person who has no backbone and stands on both sides of any real issue. I will say for most people, their real benefit is that they don't really know shit. I absolutely hate the way shit's been going in this country. It's obvious that it's all about greed and lies. And the highest level of this government, and now I'm telling you, this greed and dysfunction is at the highest level of the government. Yet, they expect the average Joe, me and you, not to get tired of this goddamn shit and start doing shit for ourselves. That's what we really need to be on right now, because that's who's bad. The motherfucker that can do for himself. After a few more years of this bullshit, people are going to be uprising. It's going to be anarchy. We actually have anarchy in this fucking great country, so-called great country known as America, the land of the free. Now, I'm for reform of the police, but they never will reform as long as they can look at a video, like I'm sure you guys remember George Floyd. As long as the police can look at a motherfucker murder somebody and get on the news and say, we have to look deeper into the investigation in order to charge first degree murder. Okay, now I can see waiting on the investigation to be completed before they sentence that motherfucker. But at what point does intent get established? Because my point is, intent means everything. If you choke a motherfucker longer than 2 minutes, his chances of dying are multiplied 100 times. So, let's say that police that killed George Floyd didn't have killing George Floyd on his mind. I would think after the 5th time George Floyd said he couldn't breathe, which was around 4 minutes, that popo had to say to himself, he didn't care if the motherfucker could breathe or not. So now, everything the motherfucking people in the 60s, what they died for, is being looked at and overturned by the Republicans. The police don't have to have any reason. They can fucking do whatever they want to do as long as they say they was doing it because it was in fear of their life or whatever the fuck. So what I'm saying is, did you know people don't automatically adjust with the times or the rules? No. In 1990, people in high places started telling everyone who listened, in the year 2000, banks and financial institutions are going to fail because computering or computer systems wasn't prepared for the change from 1900 to 2000. I know it doesn't make sense to me either, but in 1999, people start taking their goddamn money out the banks. And people start being very paranoid about what would happen when, the later it got in the year 1999, the more people was tripping. And you can imagine by October, people were really, if that's the case, off the chain. They was taking their money and putting it in wherever they was putting it, so they can have it. Now, some companies established themselves during this time, and they was making money selling different things to prepare you for the change of the millennium. And it was a windfall for them motherfucking companies that was up on that shit. Now, people were stocking up on all kinds of shit, believing the computer system that we was using was gonna fail. But let me tell you something. My father had told me years ago. My father was the president of the Country Club Crest Improvement Association. Now, way back in the 60s, now this is when he told me this. Not me, but he told us about the state, his kids. He told us the state was going to put a highway. Now, we couldn't see the highway because this little fucking road was called Highway 29, but it was just a 2-lane road going, I think it was north and south. Yeah, it was going north and south. Now, we thought Pops was nuts, but about 15 years later, they started buying up all the houses on Griffin Drive. And Pops was the last, not one of the last one to sell. He held out because he was talking about getting the most that he could for his house. Now, we lived at 1707 Griffin Drive. If you know anything about the Crest, you go to the Crest and you'll see Round Street and Sawyer Street, and you'll see driveways, 2 or 3 of them. I think Mr. Johnson them actually was Round Street ran into Mr. Johnson. And Mr. Roach them, who lived towards Sawyer Street, we lived between them guys. So the house we lived in is the driveway right between Rounds and fucking Sawyer Street. But what I'm saying was, my old man told us back then, boy, white people plan 30 years in advance and they gonna pay me for my house, because we was asking Pops why he didn't want to sell. Now, whatever you doing now was thought of and prepared for 30 years ago. So if that's true, let's say it's true, how could these motherfuckers not be prepared for the computer shit that they was talking about? Because what Pops was saying was true. In 1970, they started thinking about this computer shit. Now, I'm telling you, I'm sure if they planned 30 years ahead in my small town, how could they not do it in the motherfucking government? Now, on to another note. I get people telling me they like to listen to my newer videos. You may like listening to the newer videos, but when they say that that they like listening to the newer videos because when they say that shit, I smile. Because they act like the older videos ain't shit. But you guys don't know. I haven't told or said anything new since I've been doing this shit. What I've been kicking with you guys, all is over a few hundred years old. It's just, if you never heard it, or you never thought it, it's new shit to you. Now, I have over 300 videos. If that's the case, when you get to let's say 200, you start not needing some if they old. But which one are you going to get rid of? Because what you said back then is still pertinent now. It can be said differently. That's why when I do this subject again in the future years, I'm using that information, and I'm elaborating on it too. Now, my point to you is the very first video is as relevant now as it was when I first put it up. Why? Because my shit is timeless. That's why, as a man, you better jump on this goddamn shit that I'm talking before something happened to me and I can't really kick it. Because this 21st century man shit is going to end up taking over and you all going to be wearing dresses. You all going to be doing like this CeeLo motherfucker. I don't know what he's doing now, but I was a couple years ago when I was watching it, he was wearing, looked like dresses. Now, I ain't saying the motherfucker gay or whatever. I'm saying he was going with this new version of how men can look. And believe it or not, I kind of understand where the motherfucker coming from. Caller, what's up?
Hey, bud, it's Oscar. Morning.
What's happening, brother?
I have a question. I seen one of your videos last time and speak of having women as friends, but I never got to hear your point. So what's your opinion on that?
On what?
On having women as friends.
Women as friends?
Yeah.
I don't have no women as friends. Do you?
I would say no.
Well, what's your point as far as women as friends?
Because last time you were speaking, it was almost like somebody called in and they said that, women as friends is a good thing. And you kind of saw it as negative. I just wanted to get your opinion, like your point on it.
My point is this, man. If a woman see you as a friend, that's because you're not a threat to her. I don't want to be seen by damn bitch ever as not being a threat. I don't mean a threat like I'm finna hurt her. I'm talking about a threat that I'm gonna get at her. When women see you as friends and you accept it, you accept you ain't shit. You ain't finna say nothing to this woman. Who in the fuck gonna accept that goddamn shit and be around a woman? Who in the fuck wanna ride and smoke weed with a woman? Who in the fuck wanna ride and have a cigarette or a drink with a woman? I will meet up with a goddamn bitch and have a drink. And if I see her and pick her up or something and we smoke some weed, that's fine. But I ain't gonna go pick the bitch up from her house so we can ride and smoke some weed because she ain't friends with me like that. I don't want to be seen as a friend like that. I want to always be seen as a male threat to any woman that ain't got no man.
I hear you. And I mean, it's true because even if, like, let's say men do have women as friends, at the end of the day, it's like, if you have that friend, deep down, you would hit your friend.
Hey, let me tell you something, Oscar. That's a very good point. The point he's making is even if this is a friend of yours that you'll go pick up and fucking smoke a joint with or have a drink with, she gotta know that you gonna hit on her motherfucking ass too. And she better not get any kind of way slippery because you gonna take advantage of it. You a dude, your dick get hard. She got a pussy.
Man, that's true, man. I appreciate the call, though. Man.
Hey, I appreciate the call, bro. That was some good shit, Oscar.
All right, man.
Be cool. Now, you guys got to understand what a motherfucker talking about. What time did whatever you do have to do with the woman you was fucking with? Probably all the time. But it never had to do with she was your friend. If you a politician, you have to act like them bitches is friends. But how many of them goddamn politicians have they get caught in scandals, sex scandals? Because them motherfuckers men. Even the bitch that this politician say is their peer, if the bitch come in the room with him, the peer shit leaves. Let's say they're at a convention and they end up in the same motel room. Do you think that bitch being a senator has anything with this motherfucker's dick getting hard looking at her? No, it don't. So, I am not saying I don't have any goddamn friends as women. because I do know women, and when I see them, I will speak to them. I might even buy them a drink. But I'm not about to call this motherfucker, hey, let's go have a drink, blah, 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 because we friends. I ain't finna do that. No, I'm just not finna do that shit. Now, hey, Sharon, what are you doing? Come here. Wait a minute. Would you want to be my friend?
I would love to be. I am your friend.
You ain't my motherfucking friend.
I'm your wife. Yes.
You ain't my goddamn friend, okay, and you know it.
Okay, whatever.
You a motherfucking woman that I fuck with.
Okay, so what do you want?
I want to know, would you want me to think of you as a friend?
No. No.
Why not?
Because we're already friends. I need more. We need more than just friends.
Otherwise, you got to know that I want to hit that pussy, right?
Yes.
If I was your friend, you wouldn't expect me to hit that pussy, right? You big old titty motherfucker. Fuck you doing?
What do you want, babe? I gotta go to the store.
I'm trying to make a point to the people that's listening. Women don't want motherfucking men as friends,
no.
Do they?
No.
Should they?
No.
Why?
Because you can have any man to be a friend, right?
Well, are you saying you want some men friends, or
no? I don't want no men friends.
Are you saying women should have men friends?
No, they shouldn't.
Well, then the reason I think they shouldn't is because if they did, they would be expecting this motherfucker to not want to hit the pussy because they friends.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I'm saying I ain't been no bitch friend like that because what kind of man is going to actually willingly not want to fuck a bitch? Especially if she find like your big old titty motherfucking ass. Okay, go on out of here, goddammit. I don't need you to take up all the time. But you see, motherfuckers, I ain't bullshit. What I be talking about, I'll be serious about. And the thing about shit, I see this Norm Jr., Professor Rosebud, who is really bad. Your ass. All you motherfuckers better know who's bad. It ain't me. Well, I'm bad too, yeah. But who's bad is the motherfucker that's thinking about what's bad. Because goddamn it, if you ain't living up to it, you ain't shit. Go-getters gonna live up to shit. Now, what I was saying and where I'm going with what I'm saying is, I've been, making positive growth at Sidewalk University, but it was something missing. And I couldn't figure out what it was, although I kept thinking about it. And I ended up putting my finger on it. That's why I be up before 4 o'clock every morning, tripping, trying to see what my next move should be. Then I thought about my true mentor, because before you end up doing what you do, there was some motherfucker put you on the path that you on. And that motherfucker was Melvin Wells, Red Man. If I would have told him about this shit, I truly believe he would have, told me, man, your next move is to wait. Because he be blunt like that. Now, he never tried to dress up what you needed to know, although he always wanted the shit to be understood. So, thinking that shit made me get up and, vent a few of my frustrations and gratefulness to the only game in town, which is life. Live it and you'll grow. Just live in it and you'll die a death with life having left nothing of you. Now, caller, what's up?
Hey, my brother, how's it going?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
Good, man. My name is Ryan. I just wanted to kick it with you for a minute.
Go ahead.
I was just thinking about, man, I learned so much from when I was younger, from immediate gratification and actually learning to play the long route, which I call not burning bridges. Like the most beautiful women that I crack, we're not friends. We never hang out, but I just keep in touch because there's so many thirsty people out there that want to fuck them immediately and do all those things. You just keep in touch, check in, say what's up. Maybe not be a friend, but be a familiar face. Maybe so a friend.
Hey, but listen, bro. Listen. You making the point that I'm making. It's nothing wrong with, associating with broads. But to have them as friends that you hang out with or you're going to go have a drink with, fuck that. Because you are, unless you still going to try to hit that pussy while you having that drink or whatever. I mean, as long as you got the idea of you being a man and this bitch ain't just letting you sit over there without, you ain't no threat to her.
And Mr. Rose, but I would venture further as to say, if you ain't trying to crack that woman's going to wonder if you're gay because she sees it so often that it's going to stand out so far and apart that any man that she's kicking it with ain't trying to get at her. Like, what's wrong with this guy? You know?
And let me tell you something, brother. That's a lot of dudes' mistake. They try to fuck with whoever they trying to fuck with, and they don't want to appear that they at them. So they fucking be the friend. Now, I teach my students how to talk to a woman, not at her. See, the average dude talks at a woman. Talk about everything that any bitch can fit in. Wait a minute, man. Fuck this. Okay. But I'm saying, I teach my students, you gotta have a way to get at a woman that makes her feel like she don't want to put her guards up. Because as soon as you say, hey baby, her guards coming up, it's gonna be hard to talk to her. But if you just talking about some normal shit and she gets to talking to you before you know it, she gonna be into you. Why? Because she never has a motherfucker talk to her. They be talking at her. And any
you gotta
bitch.
be able to. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Hey, but whether it's in business and life with women, you have to be able to mentally put yourself in that person's point of view.
Hey, bro, listen. What you just said is wrong. You gotta see their view. You don't need to put yourself in their view. That's empathetic. Sympathetic means you know what they're talking about and you can see a point. Empathetic means you put yourself in their position and you not only see it and you accept it because you can see yourself in it. I'm not empathizing. I ain't empathizing with no bitch.
Hey, let me follow up. I think some of us have the ability to do both, to be in their point of view and see their point of view, or just observe it. And let me give you an example. Like when I took the real estate exam, many of the questions are multiple choice. It's supposed to be a hard test. But I just had to put myself in the point of view and or see the point of view of every letter. Oh, this is person A, this is person B, this is person C. Oh, B is getting fucked. A is getting fucked. C is the answer.
Hey, listen to me, bro.
You see the point of view of all questions.
You're right. You're supposed to see shit. And you're supposed to think shit. But you're supposed to actually make decisions on the shit you think. So just because you can see what a bitch is thinking, do you want to put yourself in her shoes? I mean, do you want to put yourself in her shoes so you can talk to her and think exactly like her? You're gonna be her fucking girlfriend.
Hey, we kicking it. Let me follow up one more time. With the game of chess, staying a couple steps ahead. It's like a puppet show. If I know what you're going to do, then I already know what I'm gonna do. But there's a couple of different actions I could take. Let me see what you would do in this situation. And then I already know which way I'm going to proceed on what path. You know what I mean?
Hey, bro, I ain't going to argue with that. You got to see that shit. But the point I'm making is not the same point you're talking about. The point I'm making is that there are too many instances where a person change from where he coming from to be in somebody else's so they can understand it. Fuck that. I'm going to deal with whatever somebody's talking about with my understanding. And if it's something that they could deal with, fine. If it's not, fuck them. They don't mean shit to me no way because I'm a conceited bastard. I think I am selfish and conceited. I believe I will never think of nothing that's going to harm me, selfishness, and conceited. Ain't no way in the fuck somebody can change my mind about something I didn't thought about because they ain't living my life. They can only think about what the fuck they thinking about for them. Just like for you, if you want to be in this bitch's shoes because she got hurt or whatever the fuck, do it. Then I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm saying it's not wise to do it.
Hey, selfish and conceit, you're right about that, man, because people try to give it a negative connotation, but what can you do without self? So to be selfish, why is that negative? I feel that 100%, bro. And most niggas will not speak up to being selfish and conceited, which sets you so far apart from the average man. And that's the message we pick up from you, my brother.
And let me tell you something, bro. That's the message you need to get. Because if you ain't selfish, thinking about yourself and every goddamn thing you doing, so you never put yourself in any type of harm, and if you're not conceited enough to believe what the fuck you think is right for you, of course, if a motherfucker showed me something else, I ain't stupid. I'm going to change my position. That's after a motherfucker then showed me I could change, or it can be changed. Because what I'm saying, I think I done thought of everything about me when I think of anything about me.
Yeah, man, we can kick it anytime, man. I've been following for many years. I always like to call in, bro.
Hey, I love it, man. I appreciate you, too.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Be
Let's
cool.
go. All right, love it.
See, there is sensitive debates, if that's the case. This brother wasn't threatened by me. This same conversation I couldn't have had with the average brother because they would have took this shit personal. This brother just, he chose to try to see. I ain't saying he going for what the fuck I'm saying. I'm saying he's at least seeing what I'm saying. He can make his own choice about what he gonna actually do. But you gotta see everything so you can make the proper decision. And I just firmly believe that no one knows what's best for me better than me. And not that I'm the smartest person in the world. I'm just saying, you as far as life go, you can live in it or you can live it. And that's what I'm talking about, living it. I don't want to live in it. I want to live it. At least with what I learned from Red and what those streets taught me, I know, or I won't know when or how, but I do know it's going to be from old age when I go. I'm already old enough to go. Not old enough to go, but I'm up there. You know, the mistake most of you motherfuckers be making, you know, about what I'm doing is thinking that I'm trying to teach every motherfucker how to be a pimp. I can't, and I wouldn't even try to teach any motherfucker how to be a pimp. The only thing I would do is lace my conversation with a lot of hidden game. And if that potential pimp is qualified, he gonna pick through what's the shit I laid out, and he gonna choose the gems for him. Period. That's what game is all about. Picking and choosing what's for you. You know, did you know the same exact thing applies to these motherfuckers who's searching for manhood? You know, all this shit that you read and hear, none of it means shit unless you choose whatever and see that you can make it work for you. I can't teach a motherfucker how to have heart. You know, in either case, you either have it or you don't. I found in both cases, if you faking the funk, it's going to catch up with you and front you off to anybody that's been paying attention. That's why I love active teaching. You're giving information to whoever will listen, knowing full well only the deserving motherfuckers going to understand. Therefore, teaching in both cases, is more about placing choices before a motherfucker and allowing them to grow into the right choices. See, thought plus action minus fear times your dedication equals a cold catch hand. Now, I was always good in math, but I'm much better at common sense. Although these days common sense ain't really common anymore. It would seem to me that if a motherfucker wanted something, had a thought, he would do what he could to get it. Take action. He would kick fear to the curb. Whatever he was scared of, he gonna overcome it. And then he gonna do all he could to get what he wanted. Every day of his life, dedication. Want plus action minus fear times dedication equals a cold catch hand. Now, as simple as that equation is, it takes a hell of a mathematician to solve that, baby. Once I solved it, for me, a monster was born. Shit, I've been in my house all day, so I decided to take my car to get washed. And when I stepped out, you know, the atmosphere is different this winter. It's not really cold, but it get cold at night. What I'm saying is when I, got out the car, I almost fainted. Then I thought about, how many dudes be counting on me in my vast knowledge of life. So I bought me a Slurpee and walked on home. On the way, I got the idea to create even more broken down course. And I realized I was expecting a lot from these motherfuckers who enrolled in SWU. And then I thought, wrongly so, that they could master the course. Now, how could they master something they hadn't even learned? So what I'm saying, that's why anyone who listened to me from 2011 to 2023 have a head start on what we're doing at SWU. Because I have now made the course where you can learn it first with me. Then after learning the course, which starts you on your way to having confidence, I'm now able to bring you to the point of mastering it. But you still gotta have the nerve to do the activities that's involved. Now, for my fly moment, my fly thought for the day. When you're on your grind and you're grinding on several things at the same time, it's a beautiful thing to be able to set something to the side, let it rest, and work on some other things. Then months later, when you've actually forgotten about this particular thing, you get a call about it, and somebody's interested in it. And it gives you a full tank because you was doubting shit. I know one thing. I don't know which one it's going to be, but it will be one of the things that I've been, having in the woodshed waiting to be chosen. Because they're all winners. I think that about anything I do. It's a winner. And I'm going to keep fucking with it till I win with it. And hell yeah, I think I deserve it. If you getting anything from me, get that it ain't cool to be surface. You got to know how to go deep. Some of you motherfuckers do, and some of you don't know what that means. But it's crucial how you think about what is currently happening in this country, to you, everything. Did you know something? I haven't really been talking about politics. I don't want to talk about politics. But I'm telling you, I'm still as political as I've been. I'm not, as diehard against Trump as I was, because I see Trump gonna get to do what the fuck he doing, which is manipulate motherfuckers. He ain't manipulating me. But since I live here and he manipulating this place, it could look like he manipulating me, but I don't believe in that goddamn shit. His shit, nobody's shit. I don't believe none of that goddamn shit. Because who's ever lobbying the Republicans, that same company is lobbying the Democrats. making both of them the same promises. Because when one win, he gonna be on that winning team. That's what they think. That's how they think. They don't give a fuck they playing both ends against the middle. Because that works. Playing both ends against the middle when you playing politics, it works. That's it for me for the day. It's Sunday. I don't really want to get too deep into religion, but thank God for everything you have and everything you will receive. And with that, I'm going to be gone. I'm out.